I did it. Are you proud of me? I watched a movie. I watched Barbarian, and it was very Barbarian. I don't want to be too harsh on the movie, as it does have a pretty stellar hook and can be somewhat fun when you realize what it is. That being said, it's just not particularly good. Comparing this to Malignant, which I think is similar but works a little bit better, is maybe indicative of a new trend of audience gaslight horror. In a way, it's pretty cool, keeping the audience off balance and predicating your movie on a massive rug pull, which can be pretty jarring and can elicit a response out of your audience. Rile them up, which is, important in horror. The audience wants to be riled up. And I mean, this isn't entirely new. I mean, Psycho is a prime example of a classic with an almost identical setup. Like, you trick yourself into thinking our protagonist, Marion Crane, is central to the plot, only to find out that it's curtains for her. Yet the second half of Psycho isn't Norman Bates running around like Medea and what essentially turns into a cheap survival horror game. It's a tale of two halves, with neither being particularly great. The first half being the alluring bottle story of Tess booking an Airbnb and not knowing the room came with a complimentary Billy Skarsgård. The atmosphere is just right, and it's odd and it's creepy, and the performances are engaging. The concept alone is somewhat rattling, and when the title of the movie makes you think, what makes this guy so barbaric? It plays into the anxiety and the mistrust of the premise. However, the problem is that the movie just won't get out of its own fucking way. And by that I mean I'm sick of very obvious casting against type choices. It ruined Knives Out, for example, when you cast Captain America to be the culprit, and it kind of ruins this to have Pennywise not be the bad guy. Now, I think these meta elements that are fun in retrospect, which would be pretty great if it's something you realize in hindsight, but we never get there in terms of being duped. Everything he does and says is the most suspicious thing imaginable, that you start to realize they're really pushing you down a certain characterization that you do start to wonder, why? Well, this is supposed to be an anti-creep PSA. Why is he so, almost every 2 lines, putting the idea in your head? Sure, I have a confirmation email. I'm just not gonna show you. Teehee? Yeah, I understand this is really creepy, and you probably think I'm gonna tie you up and feed you to the rats, and you're gonna die here because I'm Mr. Creepy. But hey, look at this random wine bottle that was just left here for some reason. That's rather odd. I know it seems creepy and my dialogue is a little unnatural, but you can't leave because of some doctor conference in the area. Something that I, a random guy, would have knowledge of. And I started listening to Migos in 2007 before it got popular. I'm just the perfect guy with a really threatening aura. I'm just the least evil person in history, and that's just not me. But actually, really. We're talking Home Alone levels of plot contrivances, just so he can get his head bashed in by mommy milkers in the basement. Then we're gonna take a dark, savage turn to Justin Long, which has not been established at any point in this movie, at all. And this is now a new movie about a Me Too Hollywood dude bro getting their comeuppance. Though this film is making it subtly obvious that he is in fact he did it. Yeah, that's not very subtle at all. Maybe I'm supposed to think he didn't, because we saw how that worked out the last time. The worst part about Barbarian is that if you want to be an obvious social commentary with ham-fisted morals, I have to ask if the movie itself knows what it wants to say. If your mommy milky monster is supposed to be a force to punish these awful men, why does she only kill 2 or 3 who seemed to be the helpful and decent type. That doesn't make any sense. If the movie is built around the final confrontation of, who is the real monster, with Justin Long's, very obvious betrayal, why are we making it so obvious that he's a conceited, self-centered douchebag? It would have been more impactful to have a guy like Keith betray her at the end, Maybe he's in a moment of survival instincts, betrays her, and that's sort of like is showing her his true colors, or like human nature. That maybe that we all are a little primal and barbaric, and if the situation leads itself to be. If the Mommy Milker monster was secretly this guardian angel that saved your life, why would she shoot her at the end? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know what this girl is thinking. I feel like I'm watching Joy from the Mall all over again. I wanted to keep this brief, so sorry for not getting into the nuance or minutia of why this movie succeeds in presenting ideas, but fails really hard in executing them. I just find it lacking in cohesion and depth, and it's a rather rudimentary script. Becomes a painful waste of what it was well-performed, spooky little tale. I don't know, that's just what I thought. What did you guys think? Am I wrong on this one, or do you guys kind of see where I'm coming from? I'm considering it a 5 out of 10, as it is truly a mixed bag that flirts with being a thrilling little tale, but is really dumb and awful. So yeah, thanks for watching, and don't enter my basement of past videos. There's nothing good down there. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you at the movies.